nexus are.
Mm-hmm.
But it was dead and it was it was like suspended inside of a jar. Um, those are usually found down in Anemoid Row. That's a area that creates these, genetically grown living animals.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, dead. But the other was that you found that there was a collection of poems by William Blake, and it was set open to the famous poem "The Tiger." You should have a copy of that. You did also find that there was a page torn out of that book of poems.
Yes, my hands, I think it was called.
Yes, 54. Yeah, so based off of the table of contents or whatever, you were
Mm-hmm.
able to determine that the page that was missing was for the poem "My Hand."
Right.
And the only other information that you found there was that Leia seems to be either like self-medicating through drugs and alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
some sort of condition, whether it's like depression or anxiety or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You're not really able to determine what it is quite yet. Maybe that diagnostic information will have something about that. So that is where we finished up. It is now the third shift, so it is early evening on the first day of your investigation. And you guys have 2 more shifts left in the day to.
But one of those shifts we have to rest, right?
We don't
Well,
have
you don't have to.
You can
but
push
there
it.
are there's negative impacts for
Okay.
not doing it.
All right. So what I'm wondering is, because I think we should go check out that snake pit place, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we were gonna do. Yeah.
Which is probably nighttime's probably the best time to check that out.
I
Be a
can't
lot
argue
of
with that.
unsavory characters there.
Uh-huh.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's when they're going to show up. And then we want to check out Doc Badger, right?
Mm-hmm.
See about this photo of the child looks like Leia.
And the
Butterfly vendor.
And the butterfly. Yeah.
butterfly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what if we split up and we went Doc Badger and Anemoid Road on the third shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on what we find there, then we kind of push on through and go to the snake pit for the fourth shift, because it'll be late, right? That's when, all the really unsavory characters will show up.
Okay.
But is the butterfly vendor on Anemoid Row or near that area?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
That is Anemoid Row. It's row, not road. But that is where all of the Anemoid vendors are. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Doc Badger is not far from that area, but he does not specifically deal with Anemoids. So
okay.
It's a slightly different location.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if it's closer to where we are, we can. Yeah, I mean, is it in between us and the snake pit?
I mean, is it on the way somewhere here or there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's in the general area. This is all in Sector 5. I can show you the map.
I mean, there's not a big time difference between.
Yeah, there's. It's all broken up into into these shifts. So
Right.
there's no
either we split up
functional
Dale or we
difference
don't.
in going anywhere. Essentially,
Either we
the only
split up.
the only real decision is whether or not you're going to go to places simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right. Have you still got the investigation on pause?
Yes, I do. That's
Okay.
just it doesn't make a difference. That's just a visual symbol to people as to whether or not you're actively playing. But
Oh, okay. Now we're actively playing.
if I'm talking, we're playing.
Okay. All right.
So is there any advantage to us splitting up?
Well, I mean, you cover more ground in one shift.
Well,
So you can go to two
I'm just
places
asking.
simultaneously.
No. Yeah, that's obvious. But
I mean, that's the primary advantage.
yeah,
The disadvantage is that if you run into any trouble,
right.
right.
Well,
Well,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm thinking. Okay.
are
'Cause
all of us going to be able to help at the what did you call it? The not animal roll. What did you guys? What did you call it?
Anemoid Road.
And okay, roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
if we don't rest though between going to the snake pit, we're going to be at a disadvantage at the snake pit. So if we expect, if we go there during the fourth shift, we would incur the disadvantage.
You expect trouble for us there?
I mean, I would expect it more likely there than Enamoid Row.
Right.
Especially since we've got a down Nexus 9 in a, you know what I mean? So there could be either we go there first and then hit Enamoid Row, or we break up now.
Okay. All right. Okay. But the thing is, it's more likely to be open during the fourth shift than the other two places.
What's the word on the street, Olsen? Since they know that we're do people generally know that we're taking the streets to as you say to find out what's going on? Are the bad guys shaking in their boots because they know we're on the job, or what?
Well, they should be, shouldn't they? I mean,
if Olsen wants to take a break and eat some more noodles, he can rest. He can have downtime. That way, he won't incur any kind of, you know what I mean? Since he's a Mr. Shooty Killer.
Okay, all right. I you know what? I'll tell you what. I like the way you think. I'm gonna go over to the White Dragon Noodle Bar, okay?
Yeah.
And go do some slurpy over with some udon noodles, okay?
Yeah.
Well, John, okay. So for the replicants, it doesn't. We aren't under those types of stipulations as far as rest goes, or are we? Can't remember.
Yes. Yeah. So it applies the same
To everyone.
everybody.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's Olsen's forte. So we wanted it.
No, I got it. No, I think that makes perfect sense. All right.
Well, what if we go to the one place, see what kind of information we get, and then we can discuss it as we.
Yeah, me and you could split up. One of us hit the dock, and the other one hit the butterfly vendor, and then Olsen take a back seat, and then we all head over to Snake Pit.
Yeah.
We're all gonna need to rest, though, Dale, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
We're all gonna need down.
But what he's saying though is that rather than my character incur.
Oh, the combat hound.
Yeah,
needs to be fresh. Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
right?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, because I need my meat shield to be
this is gonna be like a situation where it's gonna be like, hold my beer. Okay, I got this. All right.
So the specific effect, like specifically, if you skip downtime, every shift after the third that that isn't downtime, you're going to suffer 1 point of stress, which is damage to your resolve. Right. So that's generally your lowest ability between health and resolve. And when your resolve goes down to 0, you're going to start suffering critical stress effects, which are.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back from that and go to sleep.
Okay.
Like sleep in tomorrow or whatever, right? We got to go there at night. This is when the shit goes down. Okay.
I'm ready. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Like y'all are crazy. Yeah. We got to lock this down.
All right. So first of all, how do you want to split this up then?
Just well, you want to see what is your
Do it all.
your you do it all? You do it all? Which one do you want
to? I got insight. I'm good at manipulating people, you know, and of course I'm empathetic. You know,
I mean, but with sharp. My thing, I might go see the doc, and then you can see if you can harangue that butterfly dealer and get some information.
All right, so I'm talking to Doc Badger. That's who I'm going for, right?
Well, I mean, no, Doc Badger's the.
Oh, he's the other guy. Who's the butterfly dealer? Do we have a name? No? Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're going to need to. You don't have a specific name, but you're going to have to ask around.
That's fine. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm confident I'm the perfect replicant for the task.
All right, Finn. You can just pass out in her bunk.
Oh no,
Olsen or whatever you want to.
I'm at the noodle bar.
There's one of those leftover bottles of brandy or whatever it is.
All right. Well, you guys got to catch a cab because I got the spinner. So.
All right.
So Fenna is going to Anemoid Row by herself.
Yes, she is.
I'm hearing. Okay,
yes.
And then Percival and Baker are going. Where are you guys going? I think I missed that part.
Get to the butterfly vendor.
The butterfly. Okay. Or no, wait. In that case,
I'm going to the butterfly vendor. You're going to see Doc Badger. That's what you just
thank you.
All right.
Thanks. I'm going to see Doc Badger. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys have a preference on who we resolve first?
No. However you guys want to do it, I'm good.
I'm at the
now, or I
resolve Olsen first. Let him order up that noodles.
Yeah, let's do the exciting thing first. Noodle order.
All right. Well, in that case, let's do Doc Badger.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
So, how without a spinner, are you going to call in a patrol to take you there, or are you just going to hoof it, or what are you going to do?
I mean, I'll take a. I took a cab over here and I told him to wait, so I'll jump back in the cab.
Okay.
I think he can take me, Doc Badger. At least I know I can give him a name so he can take me there. You know.
Okay. All right. And is Baker going with Percival to Doc Badger's?
No,
Okay, so she is actually going to go into the noodle bar. Okay.
I'm going to the noodle bar.
So that's going to be your downtime?
That's my downtime.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So we will do that after Doc Badger's, and then we'll take care of Anemoid Row.
Okay.
All right. So Percival gets back in the cab, and you tell him you want to go to Doc Badger's and give him the general location. He says, yeah, I know where that is. Just sit back. I'll get you there in no time.
I don't say anything. I just sit back and relax and take in the neon.
So there is, Leia's apartment was kind of in more of a residential area. There's, a significant number of apartment complexes that all look pretty much the same. But you do start to travel more into the business area where you do see all of those, those huge neon advertisements. Summest Hall is a building themselves with the really big companies whose name everybody knows. And eventually you start to get into this really tight, it's barely more than an alleyway, but it's a small street with lots of shops packed in really tight. They all have kind of like an overhang that protects people from the rain while they look in the windows, and congregate outside while in the really busy shops. The cabbie lands you not far from the beginning of this street in an open area, and you see people kind of scatter out of the way. Some of them holding newspapers over their head to protect themselves from the slightly acidic rain. And you pay them and jump out. Are you going to have them wait again, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'll turn around and tell him to wait, and probably listen to his sigh, and then I'll pause and say, "I'll make it worth the wait."
You better.
Turn around and let him see the trail of bubbles I leave in my steed as I walk on toward Doc Badger's.
All right, so Doc Badger's pawn shop is basically is one of these shops in this tightly packed row. There doesn't seem to be like a large number of customers there. In fact, it's not very well lit. As you approach, you can see through the window. You can see that there's a whole bunch of little knickknacks and some pieces of advanced technology, but they're not all they're not neatly organized. They're kind of like scattered all over the place. He's just used the window just to pile the biggest things the things that he probably thinks will sell more quickly than others. He doesn't even, as you enter the shop, he doesn't even acknowledge that you're in here. He is kind of huddled behind as kind of like a counter area. He seems to be fiddling with something, perhaps trying to fix it. He's fairly young. He's kind of skinny. He's got a big head of hair on his shoulders. Let me see if I can show you his picture.
I scan as I'm walking in, and you pull up a picture. I scan up, or just let my eyes go over all what he has for sale to see if I can determine any kind of, if anything looks out of order, or what his main main items are that he's pushing. Basically, see if I can determine anything about the area or him in particular.
Okay, you should now see Doc Badger in the characters under main character. Actually, I said I would drag these out, didn't I? Do that right now. So under the main characters.
So those are dummies, and then I'll be playing from mine. So.
Okay, what map are you seeing right now on your Discord that you're using?
On my Foundry is.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry. Foundry.
Yeah, I pulled up the Doc Badger and I clicked on Coco, and now it seems to be frozen. And, well, it's not frozen now. It's doing something else. But nevertheless, we can still continue with the dialogue.
All right. So, so Doc Badger is kind of behind the counter fiddling away with something. Like I said, he doesn't even acknowledge that you've entered the shop. He is completely preoccupied with what he's working on.
Okay. It looks like a wiry fellow. And pretty quick, so, I scan and make sure that exits are, what I mean, as far as exits of escape or whatever. I kind of noticed them, as well as, like I said, what he was selling in the shop for his clientele specifically. I'm just, as I'm walking in, I'm assessing all this situation, once I glance him. And so I'll approach him and stand there for a second and see if he notices me while he's fiddling.
So, I mean, it takes him a little, it takes him about like 30 seconds for him to, you're not sure if he doesn't know you're there or doesn't care, but he seems to.
Pretty much right.
he kind of, when you clear your throat, he kind of like looks up at you for a second, but then he finishes, spends about 10, 15 more seconds finishing what he's doing. And he seems like, there, I got it. All right. What is it that you want? You looking to buy something?
Just as a recap on Doc Badger himself, he was the one that we found information that he had been providing her with something. I'm trying to remember the link exactly.
The only link is the hard copy of the photo of the young girl that you found in Leia's apartment.
Okay, and it links to him in what way? As far as
it has his name. It like there's a stamp.
On the back of it
with his name on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'd been looking at that earlier, and I saw the picture of it. So, can we? I'll ask if is one of your clientele go by the name of Leia? And we don't know her last name, do we?
Well, she's a Nexus 9, so she doesn't. I mean, she has a serial number, but
yeah, I'll withhold the serial number right now and just say Leia. Yeah.
I
give a brief description: dark hair, cropped short, about so height. You know what I mean? Judging from
right. Yeah.
Lives over on 21. I can't remember the road.
Yeah, I get a lot of people looking like that coming in here. It's not ringing any bells for me.
Now, I know I seized this property, or would have, but is it okay for me to produce the picture for him?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would assume you would have brought it with you when you.
That's what I was going here. That's what I was thinking. I'll take it and slide it over to him. Does this ring any bells?
Why don't you give me a insight roll? So that's under empathy. So all you're going to do is click on insight. And then a pop-up will come up, and since you're by yourself, you're really not going to be able to get any assistance or anything. So you can just hit roll there.
Now, what am I rolling? Because I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Unless somebody wants to roll for me.
That's right. Your machine is frozen. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let me look up your character real quick. Hold on 1 second. You are Percival. You're going to be rolling a D6 and a D10.
6 and D10. D6 is 2, and that is 10.
10. Well, they're individual. You got a 2 on the D6. What'd you get on the 10?
10.
Oh, a 10. I thought you were adding them together. Okay. All right. So that's going to give you 2 successes. So the moment you slide this picture over, you can see like a twinge of recognition come across his eyes. So he knows who this is. But his response is, yeah, I mean, she's pretty good looking, but yeah, I really can't give out information on my clients. It's kind of bad for business.
Mm-hmm.
You do have an extra success, so I will let you use that maybe.
Yeah, well, it's going to be bad for your client's business. I mean, I'm doing this as far as like my extra success, but nevertheless, it'll be bad business for your client. if you don't help her out,
No.
she's gone missing. We're trying to locate her.
Well, yeah. All right. Yeah, she came in here. She wanted me to get a hard copy of this picture. She said it's her daughter. She needed me to go through a memory scan and find this picture in her implants and print it out for her.
That's my favorite flower.
As far as me right now, this is a Nexus 9. Lead's a Nexus 9, right? And they've only been on the market or been in release for how many months now? Have we?
No, it's been more than a few months. It's probably been about 2 years at this point.
Okay. Okay. But certainly the girl is over 2 years old. All right, if she could have been adopted or anything else, okay. Do you happen to still retain the main file that you drew the picture from?
Well, yeah, but I mean it's the picture, so if you want another copy of it, I can get it for you.
Did she mention the name of the girl?
No, I do remember she seemed pretty distraught. I mean, it was obvious to me that she was a Nexus, so it's not her daughter. But she said it was her daughter. I figured it was it was one of those implanted memories. It helps keep him in line or whatever.
Yes. Yes, this could be. Do you know why she was distraught? Did she say?
No, I don't really get into the personal aspects of my clients. I just keep it straight business as much as I can.
Okay, I start taking a step back and I withdraw the picture, and I thank you for his time. And I turn and walk out the place, let the cowbell ding up against the door as I leave, and step out into the rain, and get back to the cab. So.
And as you're stepping out of the building, he says, "You sure I can't interest you in an authentic porno mag? It's vintage."
I turned slightly over and glance over my shoulder and kind of crack half of a smile, and then don't answer. Just turn back, and that's when I step out and the door clangs.
Yeah. You hear him mumble, "Damn cops!" As you leave.
I'll get Finna on the walkie-talkie or whatever it's called. I can't recall what it's called. But anyway,
KIA unit, which seems like a bad name. But
right.
Either text him or send him. You know what I mean? The photos of her daughter in quotes, possibly implanted memory. Doc said, basically Doc said she was distraught, which is evidenced, with what we found in her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, and then I'll get into the cab and shut the door and tell him to head toward Snake Pit.
All right. So while you were doing that, Baker was heading to the noodle bar, I believe, right?
That's right.
All right. So let's see what's going to happen with Baker. So how downtime works is there are two options. If you go home, there's a random event table for going home, and if you spend time out on the streets, going to a noodle bar or a regular bar or a nightclub or something like that,
Right.
there is a separate table for that.
Okay.
So, but both of them require a D8 roll. So, Todd, if you could roll a D8 for me, we can see what happens to Baker while she is.
Okay, you know, I always forget the bloody
It's just type /roll space D8.
roll.
Yeah, spell out. I think you have to spell out roll. Yeah.
D8. I thought it was just the R.
No space.
You put a
No
space.
space
Yeah,
after
there's
roll. Or before roll, I mean. Slash should be /roll. Yeah.
There you go. You got a
Yeah.
3. All right. All right. So this is what we're gonna have to work out what exactly is happening. So you should have on your character sheet there should be a key memory, which is under the biography tab inside of Foundry. I don't know. Did you read all this stuff?
Where
So pull up your character sheet and click on the biography tab.
Okay, so now what am I looking at?
Yeah, so just read key memory to yourself real quick. And I will explain what's going to be happening. We're going to have to kind of set up a scene here. So the result is the character spots a person or object from their key memory in the street. This is a stress factor 1 event. If this is an NPC, the person can be hostile and might chase or attack the character. So I'm going to kind of set it up, and you can tell me who it is that you saw. So you're sitting there at the bar waiting for your noodles to be finished. The chef is has his like some tongs and stuff behind there and is mixing up the broth and the vegetables.
You actually got a chef. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and wow, chef is a strong word. As he pulls out the large cup that your noodles are going to go in, you notice someone walking by out of the corner of your eye, and you turn your head, and who is it that you see?
It's Wade Marston. That son of a bitch. Colonel Wade Marston, who I commanded the unit that I was in off-world about a year ago. Yeah. Very brutal guy.
What was he known for? His brutality, like what
Just
was it?
an infamously brutal, and had no qualms about sacrificing his soldiers for the cause. Yeah.
Is there one particular memory that really stands out in your mind that cements how horrible this man is to you?
Well, they haven't given me anything
Just make
particular.
up something.
Oh, make up shit?
Yeah. If not, I can do it.
No. Okay, all right, okay. So, he once sent a unit into a valley where we knew that they were totally outnumbered. And it was just a massacre, a meat grinder, right? And when none of them returned, did it again and sent another unit. Yeah. Didn't even bat an eye, right? So no, don't like him at all.
Well,
So
raised him in his rank, you know.
What's that?
I said he probably got a raise in rank doing so.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw when I was there. I saw replicants like you know, sacrificing themselves for each other, right? Showing more compassion than what we were being shown by our leadership, right? So yeah, I got a problem with this guy. What's he doing here? What's he doing in my noodle bar?
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Right.
Are you going to confront him? Leave your noodles? Are you going to...
You know what? You know what? I go to the guy next to me. I said, "Here, hold my noodles."
Oh, my beer.
All right, what are you going to do?
I'm walking over to because he's directly across from me. You know, I'm imagining the noodle bar is like, you know, you can get to it from all four sides, right?
Yeah.
And you know, under the glow of the ever-present neon lights,
Mm-hmm.
and the rain,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I see him there slurping away at his frickin' udon noodles.
Mm.
So yeah, I hold my noodles. I walk around slowly to him, and then kind of just stand behind him and go, "Marston, is that you?"
Bastard.
He bites off some of the noodles that he was slurping, and he turns around, and he says, "Baker, I never expected to see you again."
Oh, wow.
No, I bet you didn't. I bet you thought that, yeah, maybe I was just not one more of your cannon fodder, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And at that point, I'm gonna slug him.
Oh.
Okay.
The Harrison Ford slug.
All right.
Everybody
Give
there
me,
goes,
just give me a hand-to-hand combat roll, and we'll see how badly it is.
You know, his nickname was Iron Jaw. When... Somebody's doing a robot.
You there, Todd?
I think Todd got slugged.
Yeah, right. I think he got hit right in the internet, right in the Wi-Fi.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're doing the robot.
Todd. Yeah, you're really breaking up.
I am?
Oh, there you go.
Oh wait,
You're back.
you're back.
Band. You're back. Yeah, you're back now.
We were all
Yeah.
broke up. Yes.
We didn't hear anything you might have said, so just so
Okay, so it won't roll.
Oh, that's because your internet was acting goofy. So give it a minute.
Okay, hold
Or
on.
a second or something.
Or I can just do it for you.
Or, yeah.
What fun is that? Hold on.
You're just clicking things on the screen.
I'm just clicking. Okay, go ahead, roll for me. Oh,
Okay.
it won't even close.
It's got to catch up. Yeah, I think it.
Okay.
All right, you got 2 successes.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, what do you give him? Like a right hook or?
Wedgie.
No. He's a lefty. So
It's gonna be a left
comes in
hook.
from the left.
Okay.
You guys expect that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So you connect with him straight on the side of the jaw, and blood and noodles just spray onto the ground as he falls off of his seat and collapses. And he says, "Don't you know you're not supposed to?" And he spits out some more blood. Hit a superior officer.
You are superior shit, I say to him. That's the only thing you're superior. I walk away.
Nice.
And he starts to get up, and he kind of, his legs wobble a little bit, He tries to straighten his coat to have a little more dignity, and then he sits back and tries to eat some more noodles with his sore jaw.
Good. That's all I need.
All right. So, because you successfully overcame that, you're not going to take the stress, and by performing a downtime, you're going to gain your health back and go up and gain one stress, or heal one stress. So you didn't seem to be missing one, but your health is going to go back up to 6.
Okay, if I can, okay.
Can you do that?
I don't know. Okay, here we are. Okay, so I guess my health is going to go back up, right?
Yeah, I just put it back up to 6 for you. Sorry.
Oh, it
you want
says
to test
5
it out and make sure it works?
No, it says 5.
You may have to.
I think you might need to disconnect and reconnect.
Or yeah.
Okay.
Or just hit reload the screen or something.
Okay.
5, I think, reloads.
F5, yep.
Try that.
Because it sounds like it's not
lost. Okay, I'll head out and come back in again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we will move on to Fenna going to Animoid Row. So you take your spinner and head away from the apartment complex. And you're Fenna's kind of, not following the cabbie that Percival was in, but you're going in the same general direction, and eventually you split off.
Okay.
And head to a different area of the business district in Sector 5.
As I cut off from them, Finna will radio. You said on the KIA. She'll contact Percival, and she'll say, Percival, make a note that the cab unit that you're traveling in has an expired sticker on their registration. They may want to take care of that ASAP. Have a good evening. Okay, sorry.
So, that's okay. And eventually, you start heading into the northernmost end of this business district. You know this to be a fairly seedy area. This is not quite black market, but this is where people go for the more purchasing some more unsavory items, such as these animoid.
So technically not illegal, but kind of restricted, or
yeah. I mean it's. There's other things for sale in the area, like follow units and stuff that most people use for like sexual escapades and action, simulated action and that sort of thing. It's generally frowned upon by the average member of society, and
especially frowned upon by Finna. Who points out expired registrations? And
yeah, she's gonna fry a transistor.
So, I mean, generally, you someone of Fenna's stature and dignity would not come here except on a job like she is right now. But she knows dealing with unsavory members of society is necessary, and she lands her spinner not far off of Animoid Row. There is basically a series of completely uniform windowed shops, and above them you see neon signs for various animals like lizards, mammals, reptiles.
So I guess certain shops specialize and stuff. certain
Yes.
genomes or whatever they call them.
You're in the
Yes.
row.
Okay.
And there seems to be a shop for every single type of animal that Fenna, can think of. The most concerning one is primates, which you see at the end, that actually has a significant number of people in line waiting to get into the shop.
Wow. Okay. That's bizarre.
However, the clientele that seems to come to this area is very diverse. You suspect it's because of the various price points that some of these come across. The people waiting to go into the primate shop are dressed quite well, which leads you to believe that is probably on the more expensive extreme of what you can find here. There is an area for insects that you suspect would probably be a good place to begin your search for who may ever have supplied Leia this butterfly.
Okay, I can't remember. Did we physically have this object or no?
I'm going to give you the option of deciding whether or not you took
was it and how was it displayed in the apartment?
It was in like
glass.
it was basically like a jar, and like there's like a very fine string that suspends the butterfly in the center of the jar.
Okay. Well, if it's not any, would it be like the size of, like, I don't know, like a bottle of water or something close to that size? It's not too much larger than that.
Yeah, more like a mason jar size.
Mason jar?
Probably,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I can handle that. That's not too awkward. Okay. All right. I will secure the jar under, kind of cradle it, in my right arm, close to my body, and then Jenna will briskly walk, kind of attempting to keep her head down. She doesn't know why she should be worried about being seen here. But for some reason she feels kind of dirty being here. So she'll briskly walk towards that insect shop.
All right. As she makes her way across, you start to get the feeling that you are actually being watched.
Okay.
It is not from anybody that you can specifically see. It like you're not getting like eyes on you from the patrons of these different shops. It's more of like just a general feeling that there is someone interested in your arrival here.
How dense is the crowd, generally speaking?
It seems to vary from in the area. There is some of the this non-animoid related stores in the area have larger crowds. But the actual animoid row, there's only a few shops, like the lizards and primates that I mentioned, that are that actually have like a line outside to get in.
So she's not having to dodge people in order to just get from point A to B. It's fairly open. Okay, which makes it even weirder that she feels like she's being watched. Okay, so like I said, she'll keep her head down, kind of make a beeline towards towards this shop, not even avoiding some of the deeper puddles you know, and she'll just kind of slosh through even some of them as she's moving toward the shop.
All right. So, as you are approaching this shop, you see that the there's a group of, well, you're not sure if there's a group, but there are three customers, or what appear to be customers, inside the shop, and it is being run by a bald man who I'm going to show you in the main characters folder.
Am I seeing through this like a large bay window, or am I inside
Yes.
already?
Okay. Yeah. As you're approaching the door, you can see that.
Okay.
And this shop is known as the Aurelian.
Okay.
And he seems to be helping someone with selecting a live butterfly that is inside of like this almost like a net cage. It's the cage is about 2 feet cubed, and it's a very fine. It seems to be made of a very fine screen, and the person that is apparently trying to purchase it is absolutely fascinated by it. They're like poking it and trying to touch the butterfly, and the two people that are also in there supposedly, you assume shopping for something, are kind of distracted by whatever it is that they were looking at as they watch this butterfly over their shoulders flutter around inside of this cage.
What is this person who's enamored by the butterfly? What do they look like?
It's a young woman. She's got red hair. You'd probably approximate her to be in her mid-20s. She's dressed fairly well, and you would think she'd have to be pretty well off to be able to afford a live.
Okay. Okay. I will enter the shop, closing the door behind me, purposefully, holding the door so that it doesn't slam shut behind me. And then I will turn and walk over to the side and just watch this interaction, seeing if there's an opportunity, or waiting for an opportunity for me to interject with the shopkeep.
Okay. Yeah, so he seems to be, as you're waiting for an opportunity to interject, you pick up on the fact that he's like explaining to this woman, all to care for this thing so it doesn't die. And he starts, explaining that the plants that it eats, and how she needs to, if she can't grow the plants herself, that she needs to purchase them.
So it is actually alive. Okay.
Yeah, and he seems to be like reiterating that this is a investment of time and money, and you have the suspicion that it is not registering with her. How significant, how difficult this is going to be. But you suspect that this butterfly is not long for life.
Wow. Okay.
But she turns over the credits for it.
Definitely a member of the dense crowd, I guess.
Yeah. And the Aurelian gives her a kind of like a blanket or like a large shawl or something to put over it, so that no one knows what it is while she's leaving.
Okay.
As she walks away, the Aurelian turns to you and acknowledges you,
Mm-hmm.
And but he has other customers to attend
Okay.
to. You could interject if you wanted to now, but he
Uh,
seems to be striking up
no,
conversation
that's not
about this.
Finna's way. She will wait
Okay.
her turn. But while she's waiting, she'll browse the shop and see what other things might be displayed here.
Yeah, so this is probably the most non-human living creatures that Fenna has seen besides maybe rats in one location.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a wide variety of insects. There's a clear delineation in the shop between living
Mm-hmm.
and dead creatures, like preserved.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Behind the counter, there is a wide array of um, glass jars, very similar to the one that you have
Mm-hmm.
Leia's butterfly in,
Mm-hmm.
with insects in various poses that have been, meticulously placed and preserved in that. But then
Okay.
there are some other like aquarium type containers that
Mm-hmm.
have living insects in them.
Mm-hmm.
You see a large colony of ants that are busy constructing some sort of labyrinthine tunnel system.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the one that stands out to you the most is what's labeled as a praying mantis, which is a long stick-like creature with jagged limbs and a large pincer that it seems to be munching on what you imagine to be a live plant that is
Mm.
growing inside of its container.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Your jaw drops when you see the cost of this praying mantis.
Okay. All right.
As you close your jaw,
Mm-hmm.
the Aurelian seems to be wrapping up a brief explanation of what one customer was perusing, and he comes over to you and says, "Good evening, miss. Is there something I can help you with this evening?"
Finna will kind of almost like not quite jump at that, but she kind of clears her throat and straightens up, and she kind of stammers for a moment and says, "Yes." She almost as if she's forgotten why she was there briefly, and she remembers, and she uh, kind of positions the jar that's kind of under her, under her arm, kind of in her armpit almost, and kind of holds it out with both hands at eye level to, you said, Aurelian,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Does this look familiar?"
Uh, yes, that is certainly one of mine. Uh, I That is clearly one of my jars, and seems to be one of my stock. Or that butterfly seems to be from my stock.
Um, we can kind of see as Finna peers like through one side of the jar, looking through the jar towards the Aurelian, so you can
Mhm.
see like the jar like makes her eyes look super huge, she's staring
Yeah.
through it, and she you can see her eyes kind of like she's kind of like scanning the butterfly, and she says, "How can you tell? Very interesting. How can you tell so quickly that it's one of your own?"
Well, I've been doing this for many years, and I take pride in my work. It is quite clearly a breed that I have taken the time to grow in this particular color pattern. So it stands
Okay.
out, and I challenge you to find anything as captivating here. or anywhere else in the city.
Still kind of holding the jar up, she says, "Oh, I don't disparage disparage that at all. It's a fascinating creature. Shame that it's something this magnificent would be killed and placed in a jar for observation."
Well, unfortunately, the amount of work that's needed to keep these things alive is significant. So I can only grow my clientele by offering something preserved rather than living.
As he mentions clientele, she blinks and she says, "I'm sorry, I'm being quite rude." She tucks the jar under her arm again and holds out a hand, and she says, what does she? How does she want to say that? She says, "I'm, I guess would we be considered detectives or officers?" Okay, detective. Okay,
Yeah,
so
detective. Yep.
she says, "I'm Detective Finna, and I'm on a case at the moment. Do you have a moment or two for some questions?"
I would be more than happy to assist you as best I can.
She looks around and she says, "Is there anywhere we can talk that has a little more privacy? Back office, maybe?"
Yes, but unfortunately, I'm manning the shop and I can't risk any thefts. Perhaps if you're willing to wait a few moments, I can try to rush some of these customers out the door and close temporarily.
She smiles and nods and she says, "Of course, at your convenience."
All right. And he excuses himself as he goes to approach some of these customers.
Mm-hmm.
And you can overhear a little bit of what he's saying, but he basically kicks out the one that is obviously, not
Just browsing.
Yeah,
Windows
just browsing. Window shopping. And he tries to usher along a transaction with the other person who seems to be interested in purchasing some sort of preserved beetle. And that actually results in a sale, which he wraps up in about 4 or 5 minutes.
So I can only imagine that the pricing is not for the faint of heart in here. Is that kind of?
Well, the living ones, that is certainly true, but the cost of some of these preserved ones is actually, not absurd, at least in comparison to the cost of the living ones.
Okay.
It's more like I think it's supposed to the pricing is such a way that the dead ones seem more reasonable in comparison.
Okay.
So what are you going to do while in the few minutes that it's taking him to wrap all of this?
Is there actually a service counter or something there, or does he just do all his transactions face to face, kind of walking around?
Yeah, there is a service counter where and that's actually in front of where all of the preserved insects are.
Okay. She'll wander over there and place the jar on the counter, and once she places the jar down, she'll kind of scan the counter to see if there's maybe a business card there or anything, or that just randomly may have, well, not randomly, but that may have some other information about the shop.
Okay. Can you give me an observation roll, please?
Yes. So it looks like that is just a D6.
Well, it should be.
Oh, I'm sorry. D6 plus.
Should be an observation plus your intelligence.
Oh, intelligence. Okay, so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's D10.
Are you going to roll yourself or in Foundry?
Oh, I was going to roll in Foundry.
Okay, so
okay?
just click on observation. Yeah, that's fine. Just click on observation and a pop-up should come
And
up.
it'll do it.
And it'll
Yep.
automatically have it. So you
Yep.
can just hit the roll button there and it'll do it.
Okay. All right. Okay,
All right. You got one success.
Mhm. I'm gonna push.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So that's going to
Yeah.
re-roll your D6. So that means you
Okay.
only have a 1 in 6 chance of getting a second
Okay,
success.
I'll try it. I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
And then check the D6 for me automatically. And no, what is that? No. Okay, I rolled one. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, then do I hit accept on that or what? Does it matter?
Yeah, you have to hit. Yeah, I mean you don't have to hit accept, but you can't push once you have all successes or all ones.
Oh, okay.
So, you're actually normally a human would take a point of damage here somehow. Or no, I'm sorry, I take that back. You're going to take a point of stress.
Okay.
In fact, I think it just happened automatically.
Where's that at?
It's
see
up.
Health resolve.
Let's see. So stress is damage to your resolve.
Okay, so I did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you drop from 2 to 3.
Okay.
And so as you're scanning through here, you do notice that obviously, he has some sort of business card there that you can use to reach him in the future. The two thing you do notice two other things. One of them you find quite interesting is the level. You notice the level of security that he has. There is a panic button behind the counter. You assume that locks all of the doors.
Okay.
There also appears to be a blaster hidden underneath of the counter. You can just make out its handle sticking out.
Now, when you say blaster, what do you mean?
So let's see. Do we have actual?
I think shotgun, but I don't know if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there are actually shotguns in this.
Or is it a type of handgun?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the picture's broken, but actually it does look like it is a shotgun technically. It says it's a 20 gauge, a PKD M1887 20 gauge.
So the blaster
it's a lever. Yeah, it's a lever action shotgun that can have either standard rounds or sonic charge inside of it, and that is pretty heavy duty for a little shop in Anemoid Row.
Is it illegal to have it? Is all I want to know.
No, that it is not illegal to have this.
It's just heavy
just
orders.
Unusual. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Generally, at anything in the like pistol and shotgun round or shotgun area is legal. It's when you get to the rifle, like assault rifles and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Civilians are not allowed to own.
Okay.
So,
fair enough.
But you start to question how much problems this guy has. To have both a panic system.
I'm smelling what you're cooking.
And then also the shotgun. And as when this dawns on you, you start scanning around the room and notice that there are cameras at multiple angles all over the place that you assume feeds into some sort of central security system.
Okay.
That may be in the back of the shop.
The business card, does it specify the actual owner, the shop, or does it just have the shop name?
The shop is both called the Aurelian, and that seems to be the name that he goes by. Interesting.
Okay. All right. Okay. I I will, at seeing that, uh, and I will, she'll kind of ping the butterfly jar, so that it kind of rings, and then she'll turn around and wait for him to finish up his transaction.
Yes, and he seems, when he hears you do that, he seems to usher this man out the door with his preserved veal as quickly as possible. And then he flips the sign to closed and locks the door before returning to you at the counter. He says, "Thank you for waiting. I've had some problems with theft recently, and I did not want to risk any more merchandise."
At that, she raises an eyebrow and says, "She says, what, shoplifting of sorts, or robbery? What type of theft, if you don't mind me asking?"
He seems to stumble over his words a little bit, and she
holds her hands up.
Trust issues. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. She'll interrupt. She holds her hands up and she says, "May I remind you that even in the even though I'm here on official business, please keep in mind that we can be viewed as public servants, and any information that you share with me is purely confidential and just between the two of us." And she means that. She does mean that, so she's not bluffing.
I appreciate both your candor and willingness to help, but it is a bit of a internal matter, family matter. He seems to correct himself. I don't want to get into specifics and risk ruining the reputation of anyone and unnecessarily.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Finna, she kind of frowns and says, "Well, she says, this matter that I'm looking into is quite serious. One of our agents, shall I say, is currently missing, and may be in extreme circumstances. This butterfly that's obviously from your shop was found in her unit, and I just wanted to know, do you keep any records of transactions of such things? Is there any way that you can let me know when this item was possibly purchased, how long ago, and maybe in what way?"
I'm afraid I don't keep detailed information on transactions, nor do I serialize my butterflies, or any of my products for that matter. But perhaps if you could describe this person, this agent of yours that you're looking for, perhaps this may spark something in my memory.
I mean, she'll give him a general description of the kind of like the I don't know if it's really a page boy haircut, but short cropped, dark brunette, I won't say replicant purposefully. And I'll say fairly open demeanor. she would go by the name Leia?
I'm afraid that does not spark any memories for me. I need you to give me an insight roll.
Okay. You're lying. Don't lie to me. Okay, let's see if I can do a little better this time. Ooh, there you go. 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So you can tell me what you want to do with the 3rd success, but the first success is going to tell you that he is flat out lying about not having seen her.
Or seen her. Okay.
Yes. The 2nd success, you can see that a look of almost panic comes across his face that he tries to hide very quickly. The 3rd success, you can either use to get more information out of him, or if there's something else that you can think of.
Okay.
I'm open to suggestions.
So when I ask or when I describe her, so he lies about not remembering her and kind of panics about it.
Yes.
Wow, that's good.
So I was going to just propose one other thing. With the 3rd success, if you want to try to push him on this, you could use that as a bonus die.
Would it be? And when you say a bonus die, would that just be a D6, or how does that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know I'm hogging out a lot of our time.
Getting some good stuff.
I will. Oh man, this is. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push him because he knows something. He's not telling me. He's doing a horrible job about not telling me. So, and that was my insight that I used. Okay. So, can I actually? And this is very meta, I know. So sorry in advance. But I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can basically threaten him and say, I'll tell him, what'll happen, Finna will take a step towards him and she'll say it's, and she'll whisper this, she'll say it's obvious, very obvious to me, that you're not being truthful, with me. And, when, people that I show courtesy and concern to don't reciprocate and lie to me, I can have ways to make things very, very difficult for them. And when she says that, she'll look down at her service weapon. She does that. So I don't know if that's manipulation or not. I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah. So convincing somebody to do something is manipulation.
Okay.
So you can give me a manipulation roll and then add a D6.
D6 to it? Okay. All right. So let's see if this works, guys. So manipulation plus... is D6A? What's the...
no, that's a D.
So D is D6? Okay, there we go. Why don't... okay, never mind. That's another time. Why don't they just put that on there? Okay, so that's 2D12 plus D6, and come on. Give me something here.
You're going to get a lot, I think.
Did it roll? No, it didn't roll. Okay, let me do it again then. You got to be kidding me. Can you go ahead and roll it? It's not rolling.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh. That's weird.
Is it something I'm forgetting to do?
No, it's graying out roll.
Do it.
Huh.
So it wasn't. There it goes. Okay. So 3 successes.
3 successes.
I'll take it.
All right. So, he, as you start drilling this into him, he realizes he's in a pretty bad situation. And he says, I'm terribly sorry about trying to hide this, but this young woman was in quite a situation. She seemed very unstable and very angry, and she needed to. And he realizes that you're a Blade Runner, and he says she needed to escape her what she felt were her bonds to the police department. And I have contacts who are capable of assisting her with that situation. A lot of her anger seemed to be directed specifically to Lilith Tyrell.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
And you know Lilith Tyrell to be the sole remaining child of the owner of the Tyrell Corporation.
Yep.
Who is, went out of business a long time ago. And the name Lilith automatically makes you think of the Lilith Memory Lab.
Yep.
Who was responsible for Leia's memory implantations.
Man. Okay. Benna will she'll say how much did she pay you?
I do not perform these services lightly and ask no money in return.
What did you ask?
My reasons for doing these things out of the goodness of my heart.
Finna laughs. She laughs and she says, then I'm glad that ultimately to hear that I am dealing with someone who has a kind heart. And she'll reach on the counter and grab the business card and she will flip it over and jab a finger towards it and says, now write down these contacts now.
And he, with your extra successes, he...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He relents and let's see.
Or did I just go off the beaten path too much with that?
No, you didn't. It's supposed to be really hard to get this information.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to decide what actual names to give you.
Okay. Or would it be more apropos to ask him or to tell him that I would like to meet these contacts instead of him writing names down?
Actually, yeah, let's do it this way. So, he writes down a telnet number, which is basically how they communicate, like, is how you make video calls, of a Mr. Lewis.
Okay.
And, he says that all contact with his associates go through Mr. Lewis.
Okay.
And he can arrange a meeting.
Okay. Okay. Finna will turn to leave and then remember the butterfly and she'll retrieve it.
Okay.
And then she will say, as she's walking towards the door, she'll say, I'll be keeping in touch with you, Aurelian. And don't forget this conversation. Have a nice day.
I could not. And so you leave the shop and... or actually, I guess he comes over to unlock the door.
Unlock the door. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And He lets you out. He does not. You notice he does not flip the sign back over.
Okay.
Are you heading back to your spinner?
Yes, I think
Okay.
I have a few leads that we can work on and something that I can give Percival.
All right. So I need you to give. So as you get into your spinner and start taking off to meet your compatriots, I assume at the bar.
Yes, the noodle bar.
I need you.
Or are we going to the bar?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm
But
not sure.
I need you to give me one more observation roll
Oh,
as you're taking off.
Who's following, who's watching me.
Possibly, yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see if it'll roll this time. Roll. It did. Okay. 2 successes. I don't know what was going on with my manipulation.
Right.
Okay.
As you are taking off, you notice above the on top of one of the shops adjacent to the Aurelian, there's a man who seems to be huddled close to an opening that is, or not an, to like an opening that's probably a set of stairs that leads into the building. That's how they can access the roofs. And he is trying to get the door open and make his way back down the steps. And he makes eye contact with you.
Okay.
And the recognition is that this is a man that looks exactly like the Aurelian, but is dressed entirely differently than he is.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And as you're, once your eyes make contact with him and you start flying off, you maybe lag back a little bit to watch him. He disappears into the steps of the building adjacent to the Aurelian shop.
Yeah. By the time, kind of like, it clicks, like what? Wait a minute. She'll hit the like maybe a small like lamp or spotlight or whatever on the spinner, and he's gone. There's nothing there, and she switches it back off, and with a stern look on her face, she heads towards the bar.
All right. Okay, so you guys, so that was the third shift. Only Baker took downtime. So that means both Percival and Fenna, this being the fourth shift, are going to take a point of stress damage. So their resolve is going to go down 1.
You got this. You got it.
Are we doing it, or are you doing it?
You guys should do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Fenna should be going down to 1 or 2.
There it goes. Okay, you got to right click it. Okay.
Yes, and Percival should be going down to 3. Do you need me to do that, Del? Or are you still
still here?
Okay, I'll drop you down.
What should Fenna be at? 2 resolve or 1 resolve?
Actually, it should be 1 because you took a point of stress earlier when you did that push.
Okay.
So yeah, you should have 1 resolve, and Percival has 3 left.
Okay.
All right. So it's the middle of the night. Best time to go to a place like the Snake Pit.
Yeah. So are we meeting up there?
Fenna will call and ask. Say, what?
Or should we have a discussion in a spinner on the way there?
Okay, I'll pick you. I will pick you all up. No problem.
I was actually going in the taxi.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, never mind. I won't pick Percival up.
Okay. All right. So when you pick up Baker, she's got an ice pack on her left hand.
Okay. Do I
smoking
want
a
to know?
cigarette.
Do I want to know what happened?
She just gives you a look like, don't ask.
So I won't ask if you filed a report, obviously. And you notice that Finna is she seems to be distracted, you know. She doesn't complain about your feet being up on the dashboard or your cigarette smoke as you guys are as you guys are riding. Okay.
Wouldn't do her any good anyways. So, what happened down on Anemoid Road?
She kind of hesitates for a moment as if she's got to gather her thoughts. And she says, I found the shop where the butterfly was sold.
Yeah.
And kind of an interesting thing occurred. She says the shop owner apparently had a moment-to-moment with Leah.
What?
And yeah.
And moment to moment.
Well, apparently Leah disclosed that she was basically having anger issues, was very stressed, and somehow the suggestion came up that she should basically quit the force by one way or another.
Right. So she had this discussion with this shop owner.
Apparently, and this the shop owner who goes by the moniker the Aurelian introduced her to some companions of his, friends of his, contacts of his, who somehow were going to devise a way for her to leave the force. I was able to get a number from him, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Lewis.
Yeah, who supposedly was the one who gave Leia the means of disappearing, is what I'm guessing.
Right.
And she'll hold up the business card and put it on the dashboard. You can see the number, the contact number scrawled on there.
Yeah. I pick it up, kind of peering at it through the smoke that's coming off my cigarette that's in the corner of my mouth. You know? Yeah, okay. So maybe we need to go pay a visit to this guy eventually, yeah?
I would think so, but that's not the only thing. Apparently, there's also Leia also has a connection with Lilith Tyrell. Does that name ring a bell to you?
Damn straight.
Probably have me ping in on the KIA. let you know the information that I.
No, you enjoy your cab ride since you didn't want to ride with.
If you're on the KIA, Dell, if you're on the KIA, you need to be speaking into an empty soup can so you get that tinny kind of sound.
Yeah.
Okay?
Voice modulator on the scene. Yeah.
Voice modulator? Yeah. So I figured, first of all, I figured you'd be interested in that.
Yeah. Isn't that?
Oh, well, I wanted to keep mine brief. I didn't want to say it in front of the cabbie.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
No, I would have just relayed to you what I discovered right before I jumped in there and closed the door.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So y'all could add that to your assessment.
Okay.
And I'll just say, see you at the snake pit. Or head to the snake pit.
Yeah, okay. Let's meet up front and just kind of get our ducks all in a row here before we go in.
All right. So, and I will bank it and get us there.
So listen, I just got one question though, okay? To Fennec here, Are you saying that when you say the Lilith Memory Lab, that was run by Lilith Tyrell, or
I don't know if it was run by her, or being that she has the resources of being an heir of the Tyrell Corporation, or to the Tyrell Corporation. I'm not really sure of her exact representation in all of this, but it's got to be. It's no coincidence, So either the memory lab is just named after her because of her resources,
right,
or she may have more to do with it. We have to find out exactly what her pedigree, is composed of, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's just a face or not, is what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's meet up with Percy there and
okay.
and
And
his story.
I've been waiting for you.
Finna makes the point not to say anything about the Aurelian clone twin ghost, whatever she saw, because she thinks she's tired.
Standing under a flickering lamplight as the rain's coming down. In my trench coat, waiting for you to arrive.
Yeah.
I'll step up. If you want to debrief me real quick before we go in there, sure. You spill that information.
Yes.
But that's when I'll look at you when you speak of what's her name, Lilith Tyrell.
Lilith Tyrell. Mm-hmm. And we need some background information on her, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, that's when I'll bring your attention to she was in today's paper, and she was actually when the Tyrell Corporation ended, and she was a part of whenever the Liberators, or the Nexus Liberators attacked. She was there. The company folded, but she, with a comeback story, basically. She brought back like those tests basically for memory insertions and whatnot, working with the Nexus Nines. So she's the only
to be like an engineer, or
but she's definitely the head of it right now, currently.
Wow. Okay.
So it's in the paper, so you can read her little deal. But that's why. Yeah, but I thought we had checked in with her.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Wanting to, but I know that she was supposed to. She had failed 3, I believe. What's her name? Jane or whatever did.
Leia.
And
Leia.
But she was still to have one more test. I can't recall if it was the Tyrell Corporation or at the location of the police department.
Okay.
Well, Quell didn't. The VP, did she mention anything specifically about Lilith? I don't think she. I don't know. I can't remember.
She mentioned the Lilith Memory Lab.
Just the lab itself, but nothing about Lilith.
Yeah,
personally.
but she didn't say. Okay. Yeah, she didn't reveal that Lilith is Lilith Tyrell.
Right. Okay.
Right. So we're gonna have to go to this memory lab at some point.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
And Del, I think what you're thinking of is so Leia failed multiple baseline tests.
Yes.
Like in the past, and that resulted in her having to go to get recalibrated by
recalibration. Yes.
Yeah, by the Wallace Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Wallace.
So what you're thinking of is that the police department is expecting her to come in for a new baseline test based off of the events that took place at the Snake Pit.
Snake Pit, yeah.
So I think that's what you're thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of. Test. But I thought since she had taken the previous failed baseline test at the Lilith Corp.
No, that was at the police department. So the police department is the one that does the baseline tests.
Gotcha.
And she failed all of those, so they told her to go to the Wallace Corp for diagnostics. Yeah.
So baseline at the the job. She failed, and the job sent her to go get recalibrated. And we were told that thumbs up, everything's okay. And then here we are.
What was the journal?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Look at the handout because I can't. It just got bigger all of a sudden.
Which handout?
The one Rising Star of Memory Design and the handouts for Independent Sentinel.
Oh, and the newspaper one?
Yeah, and you can read her story, right? That's all I'm saying. If you want to know more about Lilith Tyrell.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's supposed
okay.
to be. Yeah, that's supposed to be something that you guys picked up.
Yes.
So yes, this is the background on Lilith Tyrell a little bit.
Eldon's niece and confidant. Okay.
All right. So, well, we only have 10 minutes left. Do we want to get started with this, or do we want to maybe end a little early? We can do.
Maybe we should do that, and then when we start next time, we'll just go right in.
Solid start, yeah.
Solid start, rather than
like the cliffhangers.
Because we're gonna have to recap it all anyway.
Yeah,
yeah, I know. I mean, I like doing cliffhangers, but it's also a thing where we're gonna have to recap everything, and then by the time you do the recap, the cliffhanger.
It's your call. I just didn't know what you had to do sleep. You know what I mean? Like we walk in and find something, and then
Oh, I think we're gonna find something.
Oh yeah, I did too. I had a feeling about it. I was like,
yeah, let's just stop here, and but I can actually go over some of the I guess is essentially how the experience points works. So there's something called promotion points. And that is essentially what you get assigned at the end of each session. So let me pull this up so that I explain it correctly. And all right. So you gain promotion points by solving the cases, by reporting evidence, apprehending replicants and what have you, and you earn them at the end of every session. So because we usually play 2-hour sessions, I do every other session. So once you have started earning promotion points, you can use them for a variety of things. You can learn a new specialty of your choice, and by specialty that means you can improve one of your skills. It costs 5 promotion points to do that. Or I'm sorry, no, specialties are bonuses. I take that back. We haven't actually gone over those. I'll explain those. Those are kind of like special abilities. So you can buy one of those for 5 promotion points. You can spend promotion points and roll your connection skill to request specialized gear from the LAPD. I will open that up once we get towards the end of it, the adventure. This is basically like the big guns or really special equipment, such as I forget what the name of the device is that they use to do the test for finding replicants, but that's one of the special pieces of gear. And then once per case, you can roll your connection skill and spend 1 promotion point for what's called a Chinyen point. And This can be used. A Chin Yen point can be used for all kinds of things, or not all kinds of things. It can be. It can actually. Hold on a second. Where is the list of what they can be used for? That's weird. Should be right after promotion points.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to run.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll explain all of this in the text.
Okay.
In the chat, and so you guys can understand.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
So essentially, it all starts with promotion points. I need to figure out exactly what Chin Yen points give you. We're going to have to dig into the rules here a little bit. But promotion points are essentially how you're going to be advancing your character by getting special abilities, or getting an advantage or something inside of the investigation.
Right.
The other thing you can earn are humanity points, and humanity points are gained by accessing either your key memory, your key relationship, or when a replicant needs to perform a baseline test by failing the baseline test. And you use humanity points to increase your actual skill levels. So your humanity points are generally earned not by your investigation, but by role playing your character. And for replicants, that means getting more in touch with their emotions than generally replicants are supposed to do. So based off of the clues that you gathered, all of you are going to gain 3 promotion points. There does not actually seem to be a way to record these in your character sheet.
So
at least not that I saw.
Okay.
Unless maybe it's because I was looking at an NPC. Maybe there is actually a place in here. Yes, on the inventory tab, you can track your promotion points. All right, you can actually track all your points.
Okay, so this says I already have 2.
Yes, I think those might be starting.
Okay. And how many do we say that again? How many do we need to increase?
So promotion points, you can spend 5 to buy a specialty. I can show you where I can list out the specialties. It's not really something I can just go through real quickly.
No, they're in the book, though, right?
It's like basically I'm not sure if I posted the book for this or not. I should do that.
Oh, okay. You did.
Okay,
so we have enough. We have enough to buy a new specialty.
Yes, but after this first session, you will, because you start with 2 and you just gain 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then if you don't want to do that, you can spend them to to request special gear, and or also to try to exchange it for a Chin Yen point, which I will explain when I actually found it in the book.
Okay.
So humanity points are earned when you interact with or use your key memory or key relationship, which is under your biography tab. So as of right now, I believe it was only Olson Baker that did this. Generally, this will happen when you are on your downtime. That's usually when this comes up, but it can come up through role playing and that sort of thing. Because generally through downtime, you're either going to interact with your key relationship or you're going to encounter some situation like Baker did where their key memory
Right.
causes something.
Right.
So Baker is going to get 3 humanity points, 2 for actually interacting with it, and then a bonus one for successfully confronting it.
Okay, so sorry, how many altogether? Sorry,
3.
3.
And Dell, did Percival? I'm not. I don't know offhand what Percival's memory or anything is. Did you intentionally do anything like that? It looks like it's the memory is a fleeting vision of yourself as a small child. So I don't think that happens.
Playing with your best friend Leah, which I don't know if this is the same Leah, in a crumbling building that suddenly collapsed. You made it out. She didn't. No, I don't think I had anything to recall that memory. And mirroring is the key relationship. But
yeah,
no.
okay, all right. And then let me just check Fenna real quick. See, the memory is party at a penthouse suite, fashion district. Okay, yeah, that didn't happen. And then a former partner is her key relationship. Okay, so yeah, so neither of those happened, but we could have confronted that had you done your downtime. So in the future, you may want to do the downtime for this particular reason, which it did not dawn on me when I was explaining downtime. So I apologize for that. Okay.
This had me set at 3 promotion points and 2 Chinyan points.
Yes. So
is that correct?
Chinyan points, I'm looking that up right now. Okay, so that's essentially your currency. You can use Chinyan points to represent larger sums of money in the game, such as like bribes, or you can use that for any like sort of large expense. Like if you wanted to go out and buy another spinner, that would cost a Chinyan point and rolling a connection skill. So essentially, it's just an abstract representation of some sort of large expense that would not be covered by the police department. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, so essentially, if you want to do something under the table, without having to do paperwork for it, or try to justify it with a promotion point, then you can spend Chinyan points to do it. All right. So I will. I'll post these rules tomorrow,
Okay.
so that you guys can look through it, and you can also see. I'll tell you where the list of specialties are, if you want to consider purchasing one with all of your promotion points.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that.
Looks like there is about maybe 20 of them, I'm gonna guess. And they're all like really specific things like martial arts or hardened to give you more increase your resolve, and married to the job, which means you can do 4 shifts without downtime, stuff like that. So it's basically like a little perk.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So are you good with running this next week, or do you need a break, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine with me. I definitely think we're going to finish next session.
Okay.
Because there's literally only like 3 other places you can go. So you've pretty much gone to every location at this point, except for those 3.
Okay.
So I think we'll probably finish. It's I guess there is a possibility that one of these locations might take a lot longer, and we would need part of a session to finish up. So, but yeah, it's fine with me if you guys want to keep going.
Yeah.
If you guys
No,
want to take a break, that's fine.
No, I'd like to see it through to the end.
Okay.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Dell?
Yeah, same here. And I think with Finna open up a can of worms there with that revelation with Mr. Lewis, you know.
Mm.
So something else going on. And I'd like to talk with Lilith as well.
Okay.
You know, and we're about to go
Yeah.
in the bar. I don't know how much that's going to freaking, you know what I mean, prove. Seems like more of a distraction right now. But yeah, something's definitely going on.
Yeah, it could certainly, you know, each of these last locations could certainly like really become like take up a lot of time, which is why I'm saying we will likely finish next session, but it's possible we won't if it drags out a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely interesting. So it's head scratching.
Yep, I'm enjoying it.
All
right, let's do it. Okay.
All right. I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah, have a good week, guys.
All right. Thanks, you too.
No, thanks. Okay,
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.